I need everybody to make $250,000 that's up under me next year. Is the expectation too high? Yes, we're going to get into the whole Biden White House thing. We're going to get into black women in Chicago and how they suffering the most. We're going to talk about Conor McGregor. I'm going to let you guys be able to pull up on the panel. You can even hold me accountable for saying that you want me to lower my expectations for what I want you to earn next year. I need everybody to make 200. Anybody that's up under me, right? Anybody that's up under me, I need y'all to make 250 bands. Not for me, for you. I see you, Ray, saying wait. Mel Duke is saying no. Mary is saying will do. Come on, fellas. Come on. Don't tell me that my ladies is in here talking about they ready to rock out and they willing to do it. And Ray is over here talking about too high. It's easier to get into heaven. So y'all just content with being dusty dusties for the rest of your life. I see you, Cliff. I see you, Big Suggs. Let me emphasize this one more time. And let me give a little bit of clarification. Christopher Stevens said net or gross. Well, here's the caveat to the net or gross conversation. If you are a bag chaser, if you're a Patreon member, even if you are just a regular viewer of what it is that we do here on the Millionaire Morning Show, you should understand that it doesn't matter that it's gross, because the lessons that we teach you within the Patreon should allow for you to get the tax benefits that come along with being a business owner, right? So your earnings, whether it's W-2, and listen, I didn't put a caveat on it. I didn't say, listen, I only want you to make $250,000 as an employee. I didn't say I only want you to make $250,000 as a business owner. I want you to make 250 bands total. Now you make that 250,000, I'll show you how to keep the overwhelming majority of it. If you make 250,000, I'm going to show you how to keep the majority of it. So we're not going to worry about if it's net or gross. Because the very idea that you having a conversation about whether it's net or gross shows me that y'all not really paying attention to the mastermind sessions, that you're not having conversations with people inside of the Discord. The link to the Discord is attached to any of the most recent videos inside of the Patreon, right? The fact that you're having this conversation about net or gross versus having a conversation about your AGI, your adjusted gross income, shows me that I got more work to do. I got more work to do. I got more lessons to give. We got more businesses that we need to fund. We have more real estate that we need to purchase. We have more conversations that we need to have about how it is that you keep the majority of your wealth and then what you do with that 250. Now, there's so many other factors that go along with this, right? But my expectations right now is for you to make it, because before we can even have a conversation about what it is that you keep, before we have a conversation about what it is that you keep, you need a bigger shovel. You need a bigger shovel, all right? Now, I can show you how to keep the majority of it. I can show you how to get the write-offs. I can show you how to start the businesses, how the businesses should be closely aligned with what it is that you do great in your lifestyle. I can show you how to finesse that. I can tell you how to multiply it. I can show you what it is that I do from an investment perspective to be able to build and double it and triple it. But you got to have a foundation. You got to have a foundation. If you not shooting for at least $250,000, and I don't think that making $10,000 a month is a high value man. Now, this expectation is for my ladies and my guys. Because just because you're a feminine woman doesn't absolve you from being able to take care of yourself. You should be able to make money and be feminine and be submissive and know what it means to be a wife and know how to control the room with your femininity. Just because you make money does not absolve you from being able to live in your purpose as a woman, okay? I don't believe that a high value man, just from the financial aspect of it, we're not going to add any of the networking, we're not going to add the positions, the LinkedIn profiles, none of that. I don't believe that $100,000 a year, $120,000 a year is enough to be a high value man. We got to account for inflation. We got to adjust for lifestyle creep. We got to adjust for real estate prices. We got to adjust for interest rates. We have to adjust according to the times. $10,000 a month is not enough for my people. I need y'all to be on that 250 band train or no. Y'all with me or no? Because I don't want to be the only one rich by myself. I can give you the game on what it takes in order to flip that. I can give you the game on how it is that you can keep the majority of it. You know, you're taxed based off of your adjusted gross income, not what it is that you gross. So even if you're giving a lot of your money over in taxes based off of your W-2 initially, you're going to get the majority of that back if you just go ahead and implement the lessons that we got inside of the Patreon. Or if you need to kick it with me personally, we can have that conversation. But I need us to raise our expectations because I'm so tired of hearing this $40,000 number. You can't do nothing on 40 unless you just now getting into college or you making a sacrifice in order to take the classes to invest in yourself or something like that. You can't do nothing on $40,000. Why is our expectation so low within our community? Why we got to live off of 40 bands? 40 bands? My G. You can't even pay your rent in most cities off 40 bands and still feed yourself effectively. Why is our expectation so low for our community of what it is that we supposed to have and how much we supposed to make? I ain't say nobody owed it to you. I ain't say that you deserved it. I said I need you to go make it legally. I don't want you finessing. I don't want you doing no PPP loans. I want you to go out there and get it how you live. You know what you're great at. You know your ability to be able to do it. Most of y'all have capacity, but you're just sitting around doing nothing on a regular day, on a regular basis. You got 24 hours in a day. You probably sleep for about 6, 7, 8 of them. That means that leaves you with somewhere around 16, 17, 18 hours a day to go out there and kill it. And you're not doing anything but chilling. Listen, if you're playing an overwhelming majority of your video games, just put it down for like 6 months. And the reason why I said I want y'all to do it next year is because I want you to work into it. I don't want you to wait till next year till you start to gear up and put yourself in a position to start making it. I'm saying that we in June. You got 6 months left to start to gear up and put yourself in a position to really start making that money. And money is not necessarily the goal. It's the fact that now you're going to have options. Now you'll have the ability to be able to get yourself out of debt. Now you have the ability to really be able to make some moves and then put some money in some spaces that'll make money for you long term. Then you'll have the ability to be able to pay off that debt so that you can then put your daughters and your son through college and they're not begging for student loan forgiveness in order for them to be able to thrive. Now you got some wiggle room to where you're not operating under duress and making the worst decisions because you know that this is your only option. So you got to take that high interest credit card or you got to get this repair done with this high interest credit card. And now they got their thumb on your neck because you only making $40, $50, $60, $70, $80,000 a year. Now you can start having some conversations about, okay, look, we not in survival mode anymore. We in thrive mode. We don't want to pay all of those taxes anymore. How do we prevent ourselves from doing that by investing in ourselves more, investing more into our businesses? I want us to start having conversations a little bit differently than just looking at it from the bare minimum. Stop putting ourselves in a position where we have to vote based off of these bad policies, hoping that somebody saves us from ourselves or gives us something in order for us to level up. Why we can't think differently, why we can't move differently, why we can't have greater expectations for ourselves than just the bare minimum of what it is that you think is acceptable in society. Why do we base our average, or why do we base what we think is normal off of what the lowest common denominator is? Why do we compare ourselves to other people that are below average? When I hear people even state the stat and they say, well, most black men only earn between $40,000 and $47,000 a year. What about most men? What about the top 5%? What are their average? What is the top 1%? Do you know that I used to research what the top 1% made in every single state so that I can then not only compare to what it is that they're making in Michigan, but I want to know what the top 1% is making in New York. I want to know what the top 1% is making in Miami. I want to know what the top 1% is making over there in the UK. I want to know what the top 1% is making over there in China. I'm not comparing myself to the lowest common denominator in order to be the biggest fish in the smallest pond. I want to know what your pond look like. And are you swimming in a lake and is it an ocean over there? Right? Why do we always subject ourselves to based off of something that we can't control? You can't control what color you was born. You can't control how tall you are. You can't control whether you're a woman or a man, but you can control the outcome. right? Life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you react to it. And we need to stop being the bottom of the barrel. I don't even want y'all to look at yourselves as just black or just white or just a woman or just a man anymore. I want you to look at yourself way differently than that. I want you to look at yourself as a part of the tribe, okay? If I'm the leader of what it is that we building over here, then that means I got to be at the top of the pack, which means that I can't sleep. Because if I'm leading the way, then that means that y'all got to chase me. And if y'all chasing me, let's say you don't even hit that 250 mark, because I'm very much expecting for y'all to hit that 250 mark. Let's say you don't hit that 250 mark, right? Hopefully you hit the 200K. Hopefully, listen, worst case scenario. Let's say you do it my way and you trend towards that 250 and you grinding and you hustling and you making informed decisions and you're not taking on any more debt and you really, really focused on what it is that you got to do. I guarantee you that if you chase that 250, at the very least, you're going to make more money than you've ever made in your entire life. Worst case scenario, you're going to make more money than you ever have in your entire life. Do we got a deal? So we can get into the show? Because I want to set the expectations. Half of the year is gone. Half of the year is gone. For those of y'all that's in the Patreon, you've seen some of the numbers off of one of my businesses as far as what it is that we've generated. One business alone, you've seen the numbers, you've seen the receipts, you've seen what it is that I make, you've seen what it is that I generate on my W-2s, you've seen what it is that I make from my media companies. One business alone, this year we've already eclipsed 3 million. Already eclipsed 3 million. And you also see what it is that I'm paying taxes. I don't think that I'm asking for too much to say that, hey, at the very least, shoot for 250. Worst case scenario, you make more money than you ever have in your entire life. I'm going to be the pace. I'm going to set the pace. When I was talking to my homie one time, shout out to my dog. His name is Sean Harness. We graduated. Kojak knowing. You know who Sean Harness is, Kojak. I was talking to Sean Harness one time, and this might have been like 7-8 years ago. Maybe even more. It might have been more than 7-8 years ago. I don't even know if Sean got my new number. I was talking to Sean Harness, and we was having a debate. It was just me and him. And then we're going to get started with the show because I got to be able to drop the link for y'all to cam up. And we were having a debate over fast growth or slow growth. And I was debating that with him. I said, yo, Sean, slow growth is the way. And he said, no, Anton, we need you going to have to scale faster and all of this other type of stuff. And so we comparing. I went to his wedding down there in Houston, right? And one day we was having a conversation and I said, yo, it's no reason why we should not be making at least $1 million a year. I said, there's no reason why me and you individually should not be making at least $1 million a year. No reason for that. You got to shoot for it before you can actually get there. If you can't visualize it, then you're never going to get there.